to protect their health. In Florida today, the government in court defending its emergency order to reopen all public schools by the end of August. This after a teachers group sued the state of Florida, saying that it should be up to local communities. This also as Martin County School District in Florida announced more than 300 students have to quarantine due to possible cases of the virus in classrooms just over 1 week into the new year. Joining us now to discuss, Laurie Gaylord. She's the superintendent of the Martin County School District. Superintendent Gaylord, thanks so much for joining us. So I just have to ask, Florida just hit 10,000 COVID deaths today. With all the risks, and I understand the desire to open schools, but with all the risks, what led you to make the decision to start in-person learning?
Well, as you know, in Florida, we typically start schools at this time anyway, so this is our board-approved calendar for the 2021 school year. But also the Commissioner of Education, Richard Corcoran, came out July 6th and issued an emergency order requiring all Florida school districts to reopen brick-and-mortar schools at least 5 days a week for all students in August. So we are following our board-approved calendar at this time, and so we did open brick-and-mortar last week for our students, but we also have a remote learning option for parents. For parents who choose not to send their students to school in person, they have the option to keep their children home, and they have a laptop that has been issued. We've deployed approximately 12,000 laptop devices at this point in time to students. We also have a laptop for learning program that all of our high school students do receive a laptop when they enter 9th grade. So that learning will continue at home for those students.
So you opened up because the Education Commissioner said that you had to? Am I hearing you correctly? I mean, is that the reason ultimately?
Yes. Looking at that, there was many school districts did push back their start date of schools, and it had come as a recommendation, but we followed through, and we just maintained our regular adopted school calendar.
Did you disagree with the decision of the Education Commissioner? Would you have not done so if you had not been told to do so?
It's a possibility. I mean, I think that we have to look at that, but we closed schools pretty quickly in March. So March of the 2019-20 school year, when everything kind of shut down around the country, we transitioned to remote learning. We know that there's a higher expectation for learning to take place now for those students that are learning at home. Also, we have been in the preparation and planning to mitigate risk, adapting, cleaning, spraying, disinfecting, meeting, and providing an option for all students. So, there's a regular achievement gap that we experience in schools today, but also I think because of this, our students being out of school for 5 months, we're all afraid of a COVID gap for achievement for our students. And I think it's important to have our students back in school learning. We know that virtual education is not a substitute for the teacher in the classroom. So it's important for them to be back in school. We also know that students, it's the safest place sometimes for some of our students to be. It's not just about education anymore in schools today. It's safety, security for students. Here in Florida, we've also experienced, unfortunately, the Parkland situation that we've had. So safety, security, there's social development. Many of our students receive their 2/3 of their meals at school. The food and nutrition is important for them. There's a lot of attention being paid to social, emotional, mental well-being of students, as well as, their education. Right. So, we do a lot of things in schools these days.
I get it. And look, I'm a dad. I have a 10-year-old and a 12-year-old. I understand that remote learning is challenging, and that's a generous way to put it. But what precautions are you taking? I mean, does everybody in the school have to wear a mask? Do you have separation? Do you have people are kids allowed to sit amongst each other in the lunchroom, or do they have to maintain distancing? What precautions are being taken? Obviously, this is a deadly disease, and as I don't need to tell you, I'm sure you know, kids in Florida have died of COVID.
Well, I'm glad you asked this question, because I tell you, I could not be more proud of our entire team in the Martin County School District for taking this on as far as, being able to mitigate the risk. We have a K-12 pandemic response team in our district that we work with our local Department of Health in Martin County.
Under a gag order.
Includes local medical professionals, including a pediatric and family physician, and we meet regularly. Actually, that team has met every day, many days, all throughout the summer.
Is everybody wearing a mask?
Yes. We are wearing masks. It's required to wear a mask. If you're going to use our transportation, you must wear a mask. Your kids are wearing masks in school. We went out this summer. We measured all of our classrooms. The furniture is socially distanced. We ordered extra cafeteria tables so that the kids can be socially distanced in the cafeteria. We ordered extra tables so that middle school and high schools, where you have more students on campus, can be outdoors eating, so that there's ample space in between the tables and the classroom and the desk and all of those things. We've also measured out space 6 feet for our teachers to try to keep them safe, so that they're 6 feet from the students in the classroom. Any students that's in transition, they're wearing masks in transition. Hallways have been labeled with arrows, one way. So we've done all of those mitigating factors.
Okay. Well, I really wish, I know it's complicated. I know it's a very complicated decision, and I really hope for the best for you and all the students of your school district. Superintendent Gaylord, thank you so much for your time.
What a bunch of fluff.
I thank you very much.